Hello everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Bridge. And again, this is me, Bridge, for our episode 7. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I hope that you'll learn many things from this episode. And I want this to be an open space for everyone. So feel free to share your thoughts about my episodes or this episode. You can start here. Okay, you can write a comment about this episode and we can actually open a discussion about it. If you want to share something, feel free to hit the comment section. Okay, lately I've been busy. Actually, I don't have too much time for recording a podcast because it's the end of the month and ang dami-daming kailangan gawin. I've been busy for the past few weeks kasi I am prioritizing some errands for my dad and for my work and as a mom. So for today, okay, we will talk about rejection, redirection, and purpose. So sometimes the no we never wanted to hear becomes the turning point we never saw coming. In this episode, we'll explore how rejection can reshape our perspective, redirect our path, and lead us closer to the purpose we were meant to fulfill. Whether it's a missed opportunity, a broken relationship, or an unanswered prayer, this conversation is a reminder that rejection isn't always the end. It can be the beginning of something better. I actually created this topic because this past few days, sobrang naaalala ko yung verse na Romans 8:28. So, it says here that, and we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. And kasi lately, personally, well, I want to share this. May mga bagay kasi akong gustong gawin. May mga bagay din akong gustong makuha. At may mga tao rin ako na gustong i-win. So, marami akong gustong i-push na parang there are times na sobra akong nagmamadali. I want to get it now. I am actually pressured na kailangan maging maayos to lahat in my time. So, parang nagkakaroon ako ng pressure sa sarili ko. And, minsan may mga bagay kasi tayo na minsan hindi na natin muna tinatanong kung kalooban ba ni Lord to dahil sa sobrang kagustuhan natin ng bagay na yun. Minsan minamadali natin siya. Tapos pag hindi natin siya nakuha, parang magiging burden na siya para sa'yo. Or, kumbaga, maaapektuhan na yung emotional and mental state mo because of the rejection. Okay? So, even when we don't understand why a door closes, God can use every disappointment to shape our purpose. So, yun yung parang naglalaban sa isip ko ngayon kasi may mga bagay na nagsara na pinipilit ko pang buksan kahit na mahirap na. Kasi nga, gusto ko yung bagay na yun. Okay, so a lot of you here na nakikinig, I know that you have this kind of desire into something or into someone na hindi nyo makuha. And then, parang masyado nang nakaka-apekto sa buhay nyo dahil nga, hindi nyo siya makuha. Ang hirap-hirap na to move forward because feeling mo wala nang nangyayaring maganda kasi nga hindi mo nakuha yung gusto mo. Hanggang sa nababad ka na lang dun sa pakiramdam na yon. And then, wala na. feeling mo katapusan na ng mundo. Well, it's not. So, let us try to figure out what can we do about it for today's episode. Have you ever wondered why some doors close no matter how hard you try to keep them open? What if rejection isn't life pushing you away, but gently leading you toward where you're meant to be? So today, let's talk about rejection, redirection, and purpose, and how Romans 8:28 reminds us that God is working for our good even when we can't see it yet. Okay. So why rejection hurts so deeply? Kasi we have this nature of, desire in our heart na kapag meron tayong gusto natin agad-agad nandiyan. 'Di ba? Kaya minsan kapag nare-reject tayo, sobra yung nagiging effect sa isip at puso natin. Gustong-gusto natin yung isang bagay, tapos minsan sobrang nagmamadali na tayo para makuha yun. Hindi na tayo nag-iisip ng mabuti bago tayo gumawa ng desisyon dahil nga sobrang nagmamadali tayo na makuha yung isang bagay na yun. When in fact, alam naman natin na kapag nagmamadali tayo or masyado tayo nangunguna dun sa plano ng Lord, nagiging failure ang kalalabasan or result ng mga bagay, or di kaya hindi na siya aligned sa purpose ng Lord sa buhay natin. Until mas lalo tayong magkakamali and mas lalo tayong maiiba ng path na dapat we are moving forward to what God wants for us, pero ang nangyayari nagkakaroon ng detour. Until san ka na napunta and mas lalong tumatagal pa kung ano yung great surprise or great plan ng Lord for you. Mas tumatagal pa yung journey mo para makuha mo yung greatest reward na inihain sa'yo ni Lord. Okay? So, the difference between rejection and failure. Okay, there's a difference between rejection and failure kasi. So, first, rejection is when an opportunity, relationship, application, or plan doesn't work out the way you hoped. It's an outcome. For example, you weren't chosen. Hindi ka natanggap, hindi ka nabigyan ng chance, and you didn't get the yes that you wanted. And when it comes to failure is not a single event. So true failure happens when you stop learning, stop growing, or give up entirely. As in, pag nagkamali ka, wala na, yun na yun. So you can be rejected and still be moving forward or still be moving toward your purpose. So for example, you applied for a job and didn't get it. It's a rejection. Okay? Or for example, you decide you'll never apply again because you believe you're not good enough. That's where failure begins. Okay? So that's the difference between the two. So as believers, rejection doesn't mean God has abandoned us. Sometimes His no is His way of protecting us, preparing us, or redirecting us towards something better. It's like for you, there's a job that you really wanted because you think your skills aligned with that job. Yes. But hindi ka natanggap sa job na yon. It's not the end of the world. Maybe it's just God's way to actually lead you to another job na mas magbe-benefit ka. Kahit na sabihin mo pa na kaya gustong-gusto mo yung job kasi mas malaking sahod doon, baka kasi mamaya doon sa job na yon hindi magiging maganda yung environment mo doon, or baka mamaya hindi ka mag-grow sa job na yon. That is why God says no. And you just need to keep on waiting and wait patiently for the next job because ang dami pang trabaho. And at the same time, God wants you to have a job na mag-grow ka and hindi ka masisira. So, that's protection. So, how disappointment can become a lesson instead of a setback? Disappointment is painful because it usually follows hope. So, we expect something to happen, we pray for it, we work hard for it, and then when it doesn't happen, it's easy to believe we've taken a step backward. Okay? But what if disappointment isn't meant to stop you? What if it's meant to teach you? Diba? Kasi lahat naman ng disappointments, lahat ng rejections or failure, there's learning. And every disappointment has the potential to become a lesson when you're willing to reflect instead of retreat. So, syempre, unang-una mong itatanong sa sarili mo, why I am experiencing this? Diba? What God wants me to learn from this experience? Diba? Paano to makaka-affect sa character ko? And then, what are you preparing for me? What can I learn that will actually prepare me for what's next? Okay? Kaya, minsan tingnan mo, kapag kunyari, nag-fail tayo, na-reject tayo sa una, for example, interview sa job, syempre, hindi ka naman po pwedeng after mo ma-reject, gano'n na lang yun, wala ka nang gagawin. Syempre, you reflect, diba? Tatanungin mo yung sarili mo, saan ka nagkamali dun sa interview, anong kulang. And then, you learn from it. And then, you apply it to the next one. Kasi nga, hindi naman mag-end ang isang bagay dahil lang sa isang rejection. Okay? So, you learn from it. And then, you also try to train yourself to be trainable, to be teachable. Diba? Sarili mo lang din naman ang makakatulong sa'yo. So, all you have to do is to reflect and to check kung saan ka nagkamali, kung saan ka nagkulang. Okay? Because sometimes, disappointment teaches us patience, humility, resilience, trusting in God's timing and God's power. Mas magiging effective pa yung learning mo if you don't trust then too much on yourself. Kasi we can't trust ourselves sometimes because we can't really decide what's right or what's wrong. So, sometimes we need the Spirit to intervene para makapag-decide din naman tayo na maayos and para mas matuto tayo, diba? It says in the Bible nga na trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to Him and He will make your paths straight. So, Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 6. So, simple lang. Kapag may nagsarang pintuan, merong magbubukas ulit because God will lead you where you should be. And if God leads you into something na para sa'yo talaga, at yun talaga yung nilaan niya para sa'yo, wala nang makakapigil doon kahit sino pa yan, kahit ano pa yan, sa'yo na talaga yan. And lahat ng blessings, magpupur lahat yan sa'yo, walang makakapigil kahit ano pa yan. Kapag dumating na talaga yung bagay na para sa'yo, lahat, unti-unti mo marirealize na mas magaan na yung mga steps. Hindi na ganun kahirap like before. Lalo na, dahil na-apply mo na rin yung mga natutunan mo dun sa mga rejections, disappointments, or failure na yon. So, lahat magiging smooth na with the help of God, syempre. And because of the lessons that you've learned from the rejections, the disappointments, and the failures. And that's the time that you realize na yun pala yung purpose. Ba't nangyari lahat yun? So, syempre hindi lang yung disappointments or yung rejections, minsan hindi lang naman through opportunities, job, or career. There are times na meron din sa relationship mo with other people, like for example, friendship or heartbreak. In a relationship, there are times na parang nababroken-hearted tayo kasi merong mga relationships na hindi na nag-work kasi maybe that person is not the one for you, At for sure, may nilaan ng Lord something or someone better for you. So it's not the end of the world. Not every heartbreak is meant to break you. Some are meant to grow you. So it's normal to have disappointments when it comes to relationship. Kasi minsan there's unmet expectations, broken trust, poor communication, or a relationship that didn't last. So disappointment doesn't mean love has failed. Okay? Maaring you love someone, you gave it all, hindi yung pagmamahal mo yung pagkakamali doon. Maybe it's not the right time for you. Okay, maybe the relationship didn't work because there's someone better for you than that relationship. So, maraming pwedeng mangyari after that relationship. So, maybe that relationship teaches you something, or maybe that relationship will teach you something about yourself, or maybe that relationship ended because it's a protection from God. Ayaw na ni Lord na masaktan ka pa ng sobra or mas masira ka pa. That is why tinanggal ka na niya dyan sa relationship na yan to protect you. So it's a protection. And God will definitely redirect you to the person na talagang para sa'yo. So next, finding purpose in unexpected detours. So life rarely unfolds exactly as we planned. Sometimes the path we expected suddenly changes. Ito na yung change like when we are rejected from a job or opportunity, relationship ends, a dream that is delayed, or a door closes without explanation. Minsan, doon natin mafe-feel na frustrating naman to. Parang nakakainis naman yung ganitong bagay. Kasi nga gustong-gusto mo na makuha yung bagay na yun. Gustong-gusto mo na siya ma-achieve. Kaso nga lang hindi pa ito yung time for you. It's really frustrating. Detours often seem like obstacles. Maybe yung mga nangyari na yun, opportunity pala talaga sila kasi unexpected detour doesn't always mean you're off track or wala ka sa tamang daan. Kumbaga, meron lang, parang commercial lang and parang testing lang siya. Parang ganun. Parang isipin natin na parang trial lang yung daan na yun. Preparation lang siya talaga for the right opportunity or the right person for us. Kumbaga yung path na dapat talagang daanan mo, inaayos pa, under construction pa. Tapos nung naayos na siya, God will lead you to the right path na ayos na siya, ready na siya for you to walk on. And that path will lead you to a destination you never would have discovered on your own. So, parang tinatapik ka lang ni Lord na, okay, ibang daan. Kasi dito, ito talaga yung para sa'yo. The greatest lessons here, okay, build your faith when the future feels uncertain. Strengthen your character through challenges because, pagka dumaan ka sa iba't ibang pagsubok or obstacles, syempre, it will strengthen your character talaga. And your faith also. It will also prepare you for the right opportunities and redirect you toward people, places, and purposes that is really aligned with God's plan. So, living out the promise of Romans 8:28, believing that God can work through every setback for our good. Living out the promise of Romans 8:28, believing that God can use every rejection, delay, heartbreak, and setback for our good. Trusting that His purpose is greater than our plans. It is actually a great reminder for everyone, not only for everyone, but mostly for me. Kasi nga, I've been wanting something na parang gusto ko nang gumawa ng action on my own para lang makuha yung bagay na yon or maayos yung bagay na yon. But still, I need to be patient. I need to wait for God's consent. I need to ask God. I need to pray for it. Kung talagang para ba siya sa akin, I need to pray for God's sign kung ano yung dapat kong gawin. kung ano yung next move ko para hindi ako makagawa ng malaking failure na makakaapekto sa buong buhay ko na naman. So, I need to be careful. And all of us, we should all be careful when taking actions. Yung mga desisyon natin, pag-isipan natin ng paulit-ulit bago natin siya bigyan ng action. And wag nating sayangin yung protection na nilalaan ng Lord for us. Kasi kaya nga we need to wait patiently dahil God is actually making sure na hindi tayo magkakamali na malaki. He's protecting us sa mas malaking problema, sa mas malalim na pagkalugmok or mas malalim na sakit. God is also preventing us to experience severe pain, severe hardships. That is why we need to wait. Kaya the Lord is always telling us to be patient and to wait for the right opportunity, to wait for His approval and His go signal. And we should also be ready kasi yung path na papunta pa doon sa promise ng Lord na greater things for us. Marami pa tayong mapapagdaanan na struggles before tayo makarating doon. Kasi, syempre, ang kaaway, hindi naman papayag yan na dire-diretso lang ang takbo mo or dire-diretso lang ang lakad mo papunta sa greater things na inilaan sa'yo ng Lord. The enemy will try to distract you para hindi mo siya marating agad or hindi ka talaga makarating doon. So, minsan ang gagamitin niya yung puso natin, yung isip natin. If the enemy sees just, small hole na pwede niyang pasukan sa isip natin at sa puso natin, papasukan niya yon. Gagawin niya lahat para ma-distract tayo. Pipilitin niyang ipasok sa isip at puso natin yung resentment, yung rejections, disappointments, discouragement, negative emotions na pwede nating ma-feel. Gustong-gusto ng kaaway na ipapasok yun sa puso't isip natin para hindi tayo maka-move forward. Kasi threat tayo eh. Kumbaga, if we actually receive the reward from the Lord after the hardships, after the disappointments, yung kumbaga nagtagumpay tayo, there's a victory, it will be a living testimony how God works in our lives. Siyempre, gusto ni Satan siya ang bida. So, dapat sisirain niya tayo. Lahat iaatake niya sa isip natin, sa puso natin. So, let us all be careful. Let us take a pause kapag meron tayong nararamdaman na hindi maganda, kapag sobrang down na tayo. Always remember that there is someone who is listening to us and always ready to help us and to comfort us. If you feel discouraged, if you feel unmotivated, kung hindi ka na namomotivate sa buhay, kung feeling mo end of the world, na always try to pray, always try to ask God for comfort. Kasi nga, ang mundong to, napakahirap ng makahanap sa ibang tao ng comfort minsan. At sa mga nakikita rin natin sa paligid, napakahirap. Ang hirap humanap ng comfort kahit saan, kahit anong bagay dito sa paligid natin. But always remember, God is our comfort. God is our rest. Pwede nating idulog sa Kanya lahat. Let God heal us. And alam ko, napakahirap sabihin kasi sa reality ng buhay. Hindi mo naman may iwasang mag-isip na baka wala na akong pag-asa. Alam mo yun, nakakapagod na. But always remember this story. I just want to share this story. It is about Elijah. So ito, mababasa nyo to sa 1 Kings and 2 Kings, yung story ni Elijah sa Bible. Si Elijah is a prophet. So Elijah experienced deep burnout and asked God to let him die. Kasi nga, hindi niya na kaya yung mga pinapagawa ni Lord sa kanya as a prophet. Kumbaga, ang hirap na buhay niya na minsan yung nakataya. So, pagod na siya kasi ang dami niyang errands. But, God gently cared for his physical needs with sleep and food before speaking him in a quiet whisper and giving him a new helper. This story shows how God responds to human exhaustion with a tender care rather than anger. Kasi nga may pinapagawa sa kanya si Lord eh. And may mission siya that time na dapat tapusin. He is running away from the threat kasi Queen Jezebel swore to kill Elijah after he won a great victory on Mount Carmel. So, ang nangyari kasi, the reason why gusto siyang ipapatay ni Jezebel that time, kasi nga, ganito ang nangyari. God commanded Elijah to go to the people of Israel that time. Kasi yung karamihan ng mga tao sa Israel, marami na sa kanila yung nag-worship kay Baal or believing that the true God is Baal. So, si Baal, siya yung false God na pinaniniwalaan ni Jezebel na God. Okay, a prominent false God. And then, as a prophet, syempre, Elijah told the people na meron silang two choices to follow. Kung if they will follow the Lord or Baal. Okay? So, meron silang choice kung sino ang mas paniniwalaan at susundin nila or i-worship nila that time. Nag-prepare sila ng bull sa altar. Yung bull, sa Tagalog, toro. With wood, but no fire. So, there's no fire. Parang, kumbaga, testo. So, the God who answered by fire would be proven as the true God. Okay? So, ibig sabihin kung sinong God ang makakapagpaapoy doon sa bull, sa altar, na may mga kahoy, yun talaga yung totoong God. Okay? So, the prophets of Baal, they prayed, they danced, they shouted from morning until noon para lang magkaroon ng fire yung bull sa altar. Pero walang nangyari. Mula umaga hanggang hapon, walang nangyari. And then, Elijah rebuilt the Lord's altar with 12 stones. Okay? 12 na bato. Nilagyan niya ng kahoy yung bull. Okay? And then, poured huge amounts of water over the sacrifice 3 times until the trench around it was full. Okay? So, nilagyan niya ng water yung buong sacrifice niya until mapuno yun lahat. Okay? And then, Elijah prayed. Okay? Pray siya ng short prayer. And nagkaroon ng fire doon sa meat, sa bull, sa woods, sa stone, sa dust, and dun sa water na pinuno niya. Okay? So, dininig agad ng Lord ang panalangin niya. And it's proven that Elijah's God is the true God. Okay? So, our Lord is the true God. So, pinatunayan ni Lord na ako ang pinakamakapangyarihan at yung Baal na yan, Diyos-Diyosan lang yan. Wala yan. So, ang resulta, nanumbalik yung pananampalataya ng mga taga-Israel kay Lord. And they claim that the Lord is the true God. Kaya, nagalit si Jezebel. Kasi nga, she is a worshipper of Baal. And then, Elijah's victory turned the people back to God, directly threatening Jezebel's religious and political control. Okay? Kasi nung panahon na yon, pinapaniwala ni Jezebel ang mga tao na si Baal ang true God. Kasi nga, for her own gain sa politics. Okay? Hanggang ngayon, nangyayari naman yan. And yun na, may threat na kay Elijah. Kasi nga, syempre, napatunayan niya na ang true God talaga ay yung Diyos na sinasamba niya. That is why hindi siya tinatantanan ni Jezebel. So for the context, si Jezebel ay isang princess and she is the wife of King Ahab of Israel that time. So siya ang pinaka-promotor ng Baal worship. And Jezebel is remembered as one of the most wicked and controversial queens in biblical history. Marami siyang kasamaang nagawa that time. Elijah is running away kasi syempre takot siya. And pumunta siya sa isang empty desert wilderness. And that was the time na parang nagrereklamo na siya. Well, hindi naman makawala sa isang tao ang magreklamo kasi syempre napapagod naman talaga tayo eh. That's the reality of life. But Ayun, sinabi niya kay Lord lahat na napapagod na siya sa kakataka, sa kakatakbo, sa takot. Parang tayo, 'di ba, sa buhay natin, ang daming takot, ang daming threat, ang dami natin kailangan gawin sa buhay natin na minsan nabu-burnout na tayo, napapagod na tayo. And si Elijah, nung time na yun, sumuko na talaga siya. Sumuko na siya, sinabi niya na kay Lord, pagod na siya, ayaw niya na. Then he sat down under a small bush, felt completely empty. And ang gusto niya na lang, mamatay siya. He prayed for it. And then, dun na pumasok yung gentle care ng Lord. Before, kumbaga, ito sa buhay natin, ganito kasi yan eh. Kailangan muna nating ipahinga. Kasi sa time ni Elijah noon, may pinadala si Lord na angel to woke him with food and water para maging strong nga siya. Pinadala ng Lord yun. Pero ngayon, sa reality ng buhay natin, we need to actually take a pause and rest. Kasi, if we are, actually, empty na tayo eh. Empty na tayo, pagod na tayo. Tapos ang dami pang tumatakbo sa isip natin na puro discouragement, puro disappointment, puro fear. Paano nga natin maririnig or malalaman kung ano yung sagot ng Lord sa mga bagay na pinoproblema natin? So, the quiet voice of the Lord will actually comfort us if we rest for a while, we take a pause, diba? And definitely, God will show you what to do. Lalo na kapag lagi ka rin naman nagbabasa ng Bible. You know, ang message ng Lord accurate naman yan eh, when you are asking for a sign. Okay? You can try it, actually, it works. So, God gave him strength to move forward, kaya nga may food and water. And God reminded Elijah he was not alone and gave him a new task and a partner named Elisha to help him move forward. So, minsan naman, 'di ba? God will not let us feel na we are alone. Bibigyan niya tayo ng mga reasons to move forward. Sa buhay natin, isipin din natin minsan, okay, sino ba yung binigay sa akin ng Lord to move forward, tumulong sa akin, or kahit hindi ako matulungan, basta i-motivate ako. Like for example, family, friends, loved ones, 'di ba? Kumbaga parang kung lagi tayong naghahanap ng irereklamo sa buhay, bakit hindi natin minsan hanapan yung sarili din natin kung saan tayo mamomotivate? Hanapin natin yung mga bagay na pasasalamatan natin sa Lord, the things that we are grateful for. We should find the things that we are grateful for. We should list it down, and then dun tayo kumuha ng strength din. Right? Kasi ako, personally, ganyan din naman ako, nababurnout din ako. But you know what? Ang pinaka sign na kailangan ko move forward is yung binigay sa akin na Lord ng mga anak ko. So, for me, yun yung binigay sa akin na partner dito sa buhay ko, yung mga anak ko. Kasi, kailangan mo move forward, no? Nilabas ko yung mga anak ko dito sa mundo, so kailangan buhayin ko sila. Pag sumuko ako, ano mangyayari sa mga anak ko, diba? Ayun, may purpose ako sa buhay, alam ko na ngayon, kung ano itong ginagawa ko, hindi ito mababaliwala because I know that God is with me and God appointed me here. In-anoint niya ako to do this. I believe that. So, kailangan ko mag-move forward. Kahit minsan, aminin ko, minsan, napapagod na rin akong, alam mo yun, mag-isip kung anong gagawin ko sa podcast. Tapos parang, minsan naman may mga naiisip ako pero di ko maumpisahan. So, tao lang tayo eh. Minsan talaga napapagod tayo. But, di natin kailangang hayaan na lamunin tayo ng pagod na yun kasi may mga umaasa sa atin. Lalo na pag may mga umaasa sa atin. Actually, pinagkatiwalaan tayo ng Lord sa isang bagay. Mayroon tayong purpose. So, kahit minsan hindi pa natin alam kung yung purpose na yon, let's keep on going kasi for sure, merong nilaan ng Lord na malaking reward for us at the end of that bridge, beyond that bridge. And last, moving forward without resentment or regret. Choosing healing over bitterness, letting go of what didn't happen so you can embrace what God has prepared. So one of the hardest things to do after experiencing rejection is to move forward without carrying bitterness or regret. So minsan may mga nagre-replay pa sa utak natin na paano kung mas inayos ko pa to, mas ginawa kong iba to, bakit nangyayari to, hindi to fair, hindi dapat to para sa akin, hindi dapat ganito yung nangyayari. So while these questions are natural, staying stuck in them can keep us from embracing what God has next for us. Okay? So resentment keeps us chained from the people or situations that hurt us. Regret keeps us focused on what we can't change. But God calls us to keep moving forward not because the pain wasn't real, but because He has a purpose that is greater than our past. And so it is choosing not to let your past control your future. Let us also learn to control our emotions and not letting our emotions control us. Then, kailangan din nating bawasan yung bigat na dala-dala natin, na pasanin natin habang naglalakad tayo papunta dun sa promised na reward ng Lord for us. Kasi hindi tayo makakalakad na maayos kung marami rin tayong dala-dala. If we want a clear path, we should also clear our minds and our hearts. The Jeremiah 29 verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." A future that is greater than you ever imagined. Okay? It's God's designed future for us. And if God designed something, we know that it's a beautiful one. Whatever happens, makakarating tayo dun sa success na pinupursue natin. And at the same time, after all ng mga hardships, ng mga struggles mo before you get the success, marirealize mo na, kaya pala napagdaanan ko yung mga bagay na yun kasi this is the success na deserve kong matanggap. And this is the success na talagang prepare ng Lord for me. And this taste of success, I really deserve. Kasi hindi lang siya basta binigay sa akin, pinaghirapan ko siya. Hindi siya basta-bastang nakuha lang overnight. It takes hard work. It takes learnings. Learn how to be resilient during the times of hardships. And ang sarap sa pakiramdam na nandun ka na sa tuktok ng success and then you see yourself years ago na nag-struggle doon. And then mas mapavalue mo the success that you have. Masasabi mo na talagang ito na Lord, sumakses na talaga ako. Andito na ako. And syempre, to maintain your success, you need to be thankful. Always be grateful in everything and be humble. The humility comes first. Before we end this episode, let me remind you that rejection doesn't define your worth. Sometimes it's protection, sometimes it's preparation, and sometimes it's the redirection that leads you to a purpose greater than anything you imagined. And always remember the promise in Romans 8:28, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. So keep walking. The bridge you're meant to cross is still ahead. Okay. If this conversation resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this episode with someone who needs the reminder that rejection isn't the end of their story. And let me know in the comments, what lesson has God taught you through a closed door? Or what's one rejection or setback that eventually became a blessing in your life? Share your story in the comments or message me. I might feature it in a future episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my YouTube channel and Spotify. And you can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook and also on TikTok. And that's it for Beyond the Bridge. This is Bridge, and always remember, keep moving forward one bridge at a time. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.